All right, so let's find the area of parallelogram JKLM with these vertices. So let's first plot the points. So -3, there's J, K is 1, and then 5. L is 2 minus 1, so there's 2, there's -1. Oops. And then M is -2, -1. All right, so here we have a sketch of our handy dandy little parallelogram that we're going to find the area of. Now, as we talked about way back in the second video, the area of a parallelogram is base times height. So let's put in our height measure. This gives us a right angle so we can measure. That makes our base right down here all the way across. So our base is going to be the absolute value of x2 minus x1. So 2 minus a -2 is 4, and the absolute value of 4 is 4. Let's find our height. So we're going to go up here to 15K, and right down here we're at 1 minus 1, because we hit at this point here. So our height is going to be the absolute value of -1 minus 5, which equals the absolute value of -6, which is 6. So our area is 6 times 4, or 24 square units, or units squared, whichever. Let's look at another example. So here we have a really bad copy of a triangle, but so we have a triangle, and the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So let's draw in our height in red right here, because we have a handy dandy right angle. Fortunately, this is a right triangle, so it's super easy for us. Here's our base. So our base goes just CB. CB is a horizontal line. So all we got to do is measure the distance on the number line from 3 and -2. So 3 minus a -2 is absolute value of 5, which is 5. So our base is 5. Our height is AC, which is a vertical line. So all we got to do is find the absolute value of the distance of the y's. So we got -3, -3 minus 3. So that's -6, which is going to be 6. So area is going to equal 1/2 5 times 6. I ran out of room, so let's 5 times 6 is 30, times 1/2 is 15 units squared. So here we have another parallelogram. So just like before, we're going to have base times height. So let's put in our height at a right angle from our base. So our base is going to be YZ. We just need the difference of the x's. So 2 minus a minus 3, which is 2 plus 3, which is absolute value of 5, which is 5. So our base is 5. Our height is going to go from this point right here, which is -1, -2. So we're just going to find the distance of the y's. So -2 minus 1, another parentheses, absolute value. So we get the absolute value of 3, which is 3. So area of our parallelogram is base times height. The base is 5, the height is 3, so our area is 15 square units. All right, let's look at this guy. So the area of the polygon with the given vertices. So if I had a graph, I would graph it, but since I don't, I'm going to have to do some other things, right? So I'm going to have to find the distance formula to see if all the sides are the same, because that tells me some information. And then if I look at this, NP has the same y. So it is a horizontal line. So we get 2 minus a minus 1 equals 3. Then we get PQ, which has the same x. So it's a vertical line. So they're meeting at a right angle. They're the same. So this is looking promising. Then we get QR, which has the same, and we'll do this in pink. So we get -1, -2. And we'll do orange. And then we got RN, which have the same x, so it's a vertical line. So, oops. Let's go ahead and do this one. But we can see we've got a square here. And the area of a square equals the side squared. So the area equals 9 square units. Here we have a very similar problem, right? We have a horizontal line, we have a vertical line, We have a horizontal line, and then we have another vertical line. So we have 4 right angles. We have either a rectangle or a square. Let's find out which. So KL, which is 3 minus a minus 3, minus a minus 3, absolute value. And then we're going to have LM, which is -1 minus 3, absolute value of -4. All right, I'm sensing a pattern here. So -3 minus 3 is -6. And then Kn, which is -1 minus 3. So we have a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is length times width. So we got 6 times 4. And we have 24 square units. All right, last one, last example. So here we're laying out a patio in the school courtyard, and here's the 4 corners of it. We want to know the perimeter so we know how much edging to buy, and then we need to find the area to know how much patio block to buy to lay out this nice little patio we're going to do. So the first thing we have to do, we know we have a rectangle. So let's find the length of all the sides. So there's MN, then we get NP. And it's nice that they laid them out all on the grid lines, so we get to use our little shortcut method with just the absolute values. But really, it's not that much more work if we got to do the distance formula. Six minus 2 is absolute value -4 is 4. And then our last guy here is MR, and we get -3 minus 2. So the perimeter, we've got to add up all 4 sides. 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5 is a perimeter of 18 yards. And the area of a rectangle is length times width. Equals 5 times 4. So the area of our patio is 20 yards square. And we are done.